into another live stream video, whatever you want to call it. So this will be continuing the MyCareer series. I'd gotten many scholarship options from Big Ten, but I decided to go with Rutgers. We ended up facing Oscar Schultz in our first game. I sort of thought he sounded familiar, but I couldn't quite remember. Then it suddenly popped in my head that he was from the high school championship game, and he played for our rivals, Lincoln High School. At first I didn't really recognize him, but I didn't recognize his name, but once we got on the court, once I looked at the scouting report and saw who he was, I remembered him. He performed pretty well in that game, so we're gonna have to really watch him today. We would be at home for this game. We weren't the best team from what I've seen through practices with them. We're not the best team, but we're not terrible. I pass it out to Wallace, and I got called for an illegal screen. Oscar Schultz was able to get open inside, and we give up the first basket of the game. For some reason, our jerseys were a little messed up for this game. I was able to get the 2 points on that play. I'm just fixing this. Johnston would bring it up. He has a very interesting haircut, as Oscar Schultz is able to score inside again. For some reason, the people who make the jerseys kind of messed up on them and put a bunch of 5s by accident, but there wasn't enough time to change that. Set the screen and Gibson takes the shot, but it's off and Oscar Schultz gets the rebound. But he misses on the other end, and I pass up to Lonnie Hardaway. I was able to get inside, but I was very well defended by Oscar Schultz, and he's a pretty good ball handler for a center, but not that good. Not as good as Donta Bledsoe, who I believe went to Northwestern, if I'm not mistaken. Able to get a 3-point shot to go. I don't know what the people were doing when they made the jerseys, but they had messed up to start the season. They all got confused thinking that they were all doing the same player, but they were doing a different player. I run up on the fast break and give it to Gibson, which would give me my first assist. It's a pretty good start to my college career. I went with Rutgers because I'd always wanted to go to Rutgers since I was a little kid. Now Freddie Johnston is pretty tall, which is surprising for his position. And his hair just made him look taller as well, as Peterson was able to drive in and get the layup. he would make the free throw and we'd be down by 2. I'd set the screen on Johnston, but didn't do anything. Didn't do anything for me. Johnston was able to get the rebound because of his height. And another steal for us as we come down the court. I take the layup, but foul on Akun Purcell. I changed my form a little bit from previous games. This one not doing too much better. I've been trying to change it up a little bit. Schultz was all the way on the fast break, all the way down, but he got blocked. I gave it into Wallace, and he's able to get the layup to go, making it a 1-point game with us with the lead. Young trying the ball handle, but gives it to Johnston, who takes the contested shot, and it goes. Ohio State's has seemed like a pretty good team from what I've heard. I set the screen for Gibson and head out to the 3-point line, but it was off. I get left open for 3, but I end up missing the shot. Schultz already up and on fire for start this game. I always knew that Schultz always looked like he would be able to take over a game. I gave it into Hardaway, who's missed the shot, well contested by Schultz. Shepard would end up getting the block, and we would do nothing with the fast break that we were given. An illegal screen would be called on Lonnie Hardaway, which I could have drove in and gotten the layup, but ended up being a foul. I'd end up staying in the game, and Gibson would get subbed out for Pullen. Now Johnston had quite the height advantage on anyone he's faced. Now I got the mismatch on Peterson, but I was the one who had the advantage. I give it up to Pullen, who unable to do anything with it, but I take the 3, but it's off. I try to get back, and I'm able to defend Akun Purcell before he can get anything, but passes into Schultz, who's able to get the open layup and gives Ohio State the lead. David Fisdale decided that this year that he would coach college basketball. I got put with some people from the bench. A group I've never really played with because it's the first game. Nobody really knows each other yet. Udom gets left open in the corner but misses the shot. Terrible pass from Gibson, but we're not that good of a team. Yates is left open for 3, but he misses. I was able to get the rebound, and I'm on the fast break. I take the contested layup, and it goes. I drive in for the layup and able to score, bring it down to a 3-point game. I'm not the most consistent when it comes to shooting, but I can get points needed and I can get assists. Lyles tries to get a shot, but they're forced to take a contested shot. But he ends up making it, which surprised me. I was for sure gonna try and get the rebound because I was so sure that it was gonna miss. I gave it into Grantham, but nothing there. I fade away for the shot, but it's off. I take the three and I was able to bank it to bring it back to a 3-point lead for Ohio State. I played good defense off the pick and they were unable to get open off it. I tried to steal it, but it's no good. But Udom is able to get open for the three, and we know he can hit those. I take the long mid-range shot, and that's off as well. I almost get the steal, but I was unable to get my hand on it. I give it into Hardaway, who takes the shot and banks it in. Ohio State's really outmatched us so far, but they call a timeout. They've definitely been playing better than us, but who knows how this will go. I take the three and I'm able to bank it, bring it down to a 3-point game again. We keep getting within reach, but then they just tend to score, or we just end up missing when they miss. Udom gets open again for three, but this time misses. I misguessed where the ball was going to go and unable to get the rebound, but I give it to Hardaway, but he missed the shot. This is how it's kind of been going. I make sure Udom doesn't get an easy shot inside and forced to pass it out to Lyles, who then gives Schultz passing it out. Yates trying to get something. Passes to Lyles, passes to Udom, who takes the contested shot, but it's off. Lonnie Hardaway gets the rebound. I try to pass into Wantabe or whatever his name may be. Chioza's typically the one who handles the ball, but he didn't really get to handle it too much, as I get the foul on Oscar Schultz. I'm able to get both, so I think this free throw form might be better for me. It's leads only for only 3 for Ohio State. They really are the better team here, but I contest that shot, but it goes in. I was too late on the contest. I drive in and I get the layup to go, bring it down to a 4-point game. I thought they were going to pass to Jarrell Eddy, but I was wrong. I play good defense on Eddy, but I jump too much sometimes. But he gets called for the offensive 3-second violation, which gives us the ball. They bring in almost a completely new group. but so do we. I get moved to power forward, which I still never really understood. But I get in and take a layup, but it's off. Poland got called for a loose ball foul. I still was so confused how they could have messed up our jerseys, but you gotta go with what you have. I drive in and get the pass from my teammate and score it. I'm trying to bring our team back in this game, but Ohio State's really not letting us do that. They're locking us down on defense, but we're trying to get a stop, and as we get the block there, I'm on the fast break. But I pass it into Wallace and get him to tie the game. So far, our first game together hasn't been that bad, but I already know that their team is pretty good. I'm able to contest the shot, and I pass it up to Watanbe, and he's able to get the bucket. We finally get a lead after our only lead coming in the first quarter. Hasn't been a good start for us, but we are able to get back in this game. Peterson trying to get something, but is able to get Akun Purcell open and ties up the game. Whenever we get a lead, they just come right back with a bucket of their own. I call for the screen. I give a screen for Wallace, but it doesn't work. They pass to me, but it's stolen by Johnston. I try to get back for the contest, but I'm too late. They get the lead once again. I give it to Watanbe, who handles the ball, and I set a screen, but I'm unable to get open. I post up and I try to go for the fadeaway, but it's no good. Johnson able to get the layup inside, as everyone is taller. He is taller than everyone else. I come up and try and take a three, but it's no good. Peterson trying to get by his defender gets the mismatch. Johnston brings the ball and drives in and misses. I am able to get the rebound, and I push on the fast break. I drive in for the layup, and it's good, bringing it down to a 2-point game. We just can't get a lead and keep it in this game. We're having trouble doing that. I go for the steal, but no luck. Akun Purcell's left open in the corner, but he misses. Oscar Schultz is there for the rebound, and they're able to get a three off that possession. I hold the ball for the last shot. I drive in, but I thought I was going to miss it, but it ended up going in, bringing it down to a 3-point game. I was there for the contest on the half-court shot attempt, but only a 3-point game going into halftime. I'm trying to bring this team back in this game, but we keep falling behind. They just kept getting open, and there's nothing I could do about it. The one thing we did have going was blocks and steals, but Udom had 19 points and 2 assists. I've been having a pretty good game so far with 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, but it's still not enough to bring us back in this game, as Udom has shot a lot of threes and made them, even that one heavily contested shot, which I honestly did not believe was going to go in. I hope that next game we can get the jerseys back to working fine. Peterson will bring up the ball to start the third quarter, and they would end up starting with the ball. I end up having to guard Peterson, but I get the steal and I drive in for the dunk. Bringing it down to a 1-point game. I end up having to guard Akun Purcell, but I switch over to Peterson. I tried to get the steal, but unable to as the foul's called on me. So that would send Robert Peterson to the line, and he'd make the first one. He would then make the second one as well. I try to drive in, but unable to get by, but Lonnie Hardaway is able to get it to go, giving me my 6th assist of the game. I'm still trying to show that I can do everything that this team may need me to do. As Shepard's called for the shooting foul, sending Akun Purcell to the line. He'd end up making the first one, and he would end up making the second as well. But if you missed, I was there for the rebound. I slow it down and I pass to... I try to get a pass off, but it's stolen by Akun Purcell. I contest the layup and the guy missed the shot as I drive in for the layup and bank it in. I've scored 30 points already, and I'm trying to bring this team into this game. I tried to get back to block him, but I was unable to, and they were able to get the shot to go. I drive by Akun Purcell and I try to get open, but I'm unable to, as Lonnie Hardaway is able to get the bucket and bring it down to a 1-point game. Ohio State would end up calling a timeout as we brought the game within 1. I really hope that the jerseys don't end up being the same number and same name on the back as well, as I get subbed out and get brought in with a 2-point lead. I get put on Kuzmic, who takes the shot over me and is able to tie this game up 69-69. I'm playing power forward for us, and Kuzmic is known to be... I drive on Udom and get the layup to go. I'm really trying to help our team win this game. Udom could be a real threat from 3. But Kuzmic can shoot as well, but I'm able to contest it, and I run up on the fast break and I drive in for the layup and get fouled by Yates. I'm able to get the first free throw, and I was also able to get the second as well. This free throw form has been a little bit better for me, and I'm liking it a little bit more. Feels more comfortable for me. Feels more natural to be in that position. I guard Akun Purcell and I'm able to contest his shot, and I get the rebound. I almost turn it over, but I don't, and I'm able to bring it up and take the open 3 and bank it. And then this suddenly gives us a 7-point lead, which I believe was the largest in this game so far. I'm able to poke the ball loose from Udom and get the steal. I go up the court and pass to Pullen, who's wide open for 3, and he hits it, giving us a 10-point lead. It's a big run for us, and I was honestly quite surprised, because we know Ohio State's a better team than us, but we're fighting in this game. I end up staying at power forward and guard Kuzmic. I thought they were going to pass out to Kuzmic, but they passed to Yates. Yates is able to get the screen from Akun Purcell, and Yates drives in and takes the layup, but he misses it and was fouled by Young, sending him to the free throw line. He brought it down to an 8-point game. I bring up the ball for our team. I drive in and get the layup by bruise by Kuzmic. Udom has still 19 points and hasn't scored since that first half. I tried to block it, but that would have been goaltending if I had hit the ball. I drive by my defender behind him and get the layup inside, keeping it at a 10-point lead for us. Trying to keep us in this position, giving us quite a big cushion for us to try and hold off in the fourth. Akun Purcell would set the screen and I would contest Kuzmic's shot, but Akun Purcell would end up getting the putback. I tried driving by Akun Purcell, but I'm unable to get anything to go. I end up being forced to take a mid-range that I did not want to take. I hold Udom to the 3-point line and he's contested by my teammate. Akun Purcell though would get open in the paint and ends up getting the shot inside. I pass it to Pullen, who ends up passing it to me. Young's able to get the screen from not Livingston, I'm already forgetting my teammates' names. It's the first game, so I'm trying to learn everyone's names, learning their play style, but I'm trying to work with them. Kuzmic tries to get the last shot, but he passes to Yates, who will end up making the shot. I don't think it's worth taking the shot, and I remember that the center's name was Hardaway. It's been a pretty good start to this game so far. As I get the assist of the game, passing it in to my fellow team. As we begin the fourth quarter, we have quite a big lead. I set a screen for Young, who drives in, but I accidentally mess up his shot, but I'm able to get him a better shot from 3. So it ended up working out for us. The center, Lyles, has the ball. He passes it into Young, and I get the block on him. A good defensive possession for me, as I give it to Poland, as I don't want to mess it up, as we're able to get the bucket inside. Johnston is quite the big player, but he turns it over. I give it to Poland, who's wide open for three, and he's able to bank it. We've had 20 points from off of turnovers. I get caught up on Johnston, and I'm unable to get to my defender. I give it to Poland, and I come over to set the screen. I end up getting fouled by Johnston, as Schultz gets subbed into the game. Walls takes the shot and is able to hit it. We end up having a 13-point lead, and this has been a pretty good shooting day for Wallace. We've been able to shut down Robert Peterson, and Oscar Schultz has had a good game, but he hasn't had a crazy game from what I know, at least from what I believe. Akun Purcell drives in and gives it to Schultz, who we already know can take over a game. I set the screen for Poland, and I drive in. I give it in to Shepard, but he ends up fading away and takes the shot and makes it, giving me my 10th assist. Ohio State would end up calling a timeout. It's been quite a rough second half of the game for them. I'm playing small forward from what I believe. Shepard's able to get the steal. I'm left wide open, well, not wide open for three, but pretty open from three, and the ball ends up going out of bounds off Shepard. Just 7 minutes left in the game, and I'm hoping that we could end up pulling off the win. The lob up to Schultz, but he misses it, as he took a layup instead, but Hardaway turns it over as the pass up, the outlet pass was not on point. I try to help with Johnston, but it's no good. I leave Akun Purcell open, and he's able to bank the 3-point shot. I'm left open from three, and of course I'd hit that. I try to help with Peterson, but Akun Purcell gets left open. I give it to Poland, who gives it to Hardaway. I'm back on defense, but it's difficult to stop Schultz, but he turns it over. I tried to drive baseline, but I ended up turning the ball over. I try to steal the ball from Peterson, but it doesn't work. Young's able to get the shot inside, and Shepard fouls him. He hits the first, bringing it down to a 10-point game. And is able to hit the second as well. I'm able to get open inside, and I hit the layup. I'm very tired from trying to help this team win this game. Johnston sets a screen on me, but I'm able to get by it and guard Akun Purcell. And Schultz able to hit the three, which is something people have to start getting used to, as he's a pretty good shooter from there. I get the 3-point shot to go over my defender, Akun Purcell. Peterson is able to get the shot inside, and Shepard commits his third foul of the game. He's able to hit the first, bring it down again to a 10-point game. And once again, they hit the second to bring it down to 9. I get a little reaction from Akun Purcell, but nothing really there. I step back for the mid-range, and I'm able to get it to go. I end up getting a reach-in foul, and I stay in the game. Akun Purcell gets the ball off the inbound, but ends up passing it back. Oscar Schultz takes the three, but it ends up missing off the rim. I give it to Gibson, who gets inside, but he gives it to our center, Hardaway. Johnston passes in to Young and gets the assist. I drive in and I get fouled by Peterson, but I thought that would have been on Oscar Schultz because he literally hit me in the face after the play. As I get MVP chance from the fans. As Ohio State would end up calling a timeout. I still wish they could have had the jerseys correct, but you have to go with what they give you. They would end up having the ball, and they give to Peterson. I end up getting called for the shooting foul, and that would be my 4th of the game. Peterson would make the first and make the second, as we still have a pretty decent lead with about 2 minutes left. He's able to drive in and get the foul from Johnston, as I get more MVP chance. I'm able to get both of them to go. Peterson will bring it up the ball for Ohio State. He gets the defender to jump, but nothing was there for him. Ohio State ends up missing, and I pass it up to Shepard, who's all the way up the court, giving me my 11th assist of the game. I've been having a pretty good all-around game so far. I ended up getting my 9th rebound of the game, and I passed up to Gibson. Was able to find Wallace inside, but unable to get it, but got fouled by Peterson. He would make the first free throw, as this game has been a lot of made free throws. Peterson would bring it up and pass to Johnston. Schultz is out for the 3, but I leave my man open, Akun Purcell, but I run back to get the block. Ends up being a turnover, but Shepard tries to save the ball, but ends up being out of bounds, so it stays Ohio State ball, giving them also a new shot clock. I leave Akun Purcell open. I try to reach in, but that would be my 5th foul of the game. I would end up staying in the game though, as Akun Purcell would take the 2nd free throw and make it. They'd end up pressing as they're trying to get back in this game. But I drive by and get the layup, giving me 57 points on the game. It's been a pretty good game for us, considering it's our first game of the season. Young would be left open for the 3, but a loose foul on Oscar Schultz would keep me from getting a triple-double. But I get subbed back in with Oscar Schultz taking free throws at the free throw line. And he ended up making them. For some reason I was guarded by Oscar Schultz, which I didn't understand why. I decided to try and hit a 3, but was unable to go. I tried to wait for a rebound, but I guess I'd be stuck with 9 rebounds. Once again, snubbed from a triple-double. He would keep passing it back to me. Ended up trying to take a shot over Schultz, but he's so big I can't get it over him to get it in. We ended up winning the game, and it was a pretty good game for Schultz. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds, giving him a double-double. Udom had 19 points, but majority of them were in the first half. Akun Purcell also had a pretty decent game, but they were unable to put it together and win this game, as I had 57 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists, with 2 steals, 2 blocks, but I did have 5 turnovers. I shot 9 for 10 at the free throw line, and pretty much I kind of had led this team to the victory. Walls with 13 and Young with 13, as not much else from my team as this ended up with a win.